These are things I have learned about starting over in my 40s. First, you're not the only one, okay? There are tons of people who are starting over later in life for whatever the reason. I've learned that fear is not a stop sign. It can be a nudge that you're on to something great. Starting over in your 40s, you have a better sense of who you are, okay? You're not scrambling for your identity or looking for validation from others. Starting over at this age has given me the space to ask myself the hard questions like, am I happy? Am I fulfilled? What do I want out of this thing called life? That starting over doesn't mean I'm behind. It means I'm evolving. I'm growing. I've given myself the permission to do things differently, right? Letting go of that need to keep up. That starting over in my 40s is not failure. It's freedom because I'm not starting from scratch, right? I'm starting from experience. This is no longer my first rodeo. Lastly, when you're starting over in your 40s, it requires a level of unlearning, right? Letting go of this belief that success and happiness look like a straight line. With starting over, I had to come to terms with the fact that sometimes the life you imagined isn't necessarily the life that you're supposed to live, and that's okay. So let me know in the comments, what are some things that you're learning if you're starting over later?
I restarted my life at the age of 35 after losing everything. I was living in London then, and I was in a serious relationship. We were running a cute brunch cafe together in South London. Despite the struggles, I thought I had everything I wanted in my life, and I was on track to eventually having my own family. But then a series of events happened and I lost him. I lost the business and I lost all my money, everything I owned. And that's when I came back to Singapore. I sunk into depression and had really bad social anxiety. Life was so dark and there was absolutely no hope. It was also the same time that I got really close to my father. I think he was afraid that he would lose me, that I would have taken my own life. It was at my lowest point that I began to reflect on my entire life. I realized that I was living in a vicious cycle of hating myself and never putting me first. That's when I started going for therapy. And it was hard because the panic attacks, the dark thoughts wouldn't go away. But as I took every day, one step at a time, in those moments, it really felt like nothing. But now 4 years later, looking back, I feel proud of myself. Last 4 years have been really hard. Look at where I am now. The one lesson I learned is that when times are really hard, you have to hold on to who you are. You have to have courage and patience with yourself. And if I've done it...
How do you decide to start over? I'm asking because a part of me is hoping that someone on here has figured it out.
How do you know when to start your life over? This person had their stitches turned off, so please let me know if this video is not desired by you. I will delete it. When you're living in a life that is so misaligned that you can feel it every single day, that every single day you wake up and you hate what you are doing with your time, you hate all of the pressure that is always on you, and you just can't take it anymore. That life will have been created slowly over time by you. Early in our lives, we tend to wear masks because they are useful for us, and they're much easier than actually getting to know who we are. Because we don't get to choose who we are. We only get to discover who we are. And a lot of the time, whoever we are is not okay with the environment that we're in. But we don't even know that we have the mask on. And so we build a life around our mask. We get married, we have children, we get careers. And slowly but surely, all the balls that we've been juggling to keep the mask up start to destroy us. They start to destroy our internal life because you can't live your life just juggling all the time. You have to actually enjoy it. It has to actually resonate with who you are. And if it doesn't feed you and you run out of energy. And you can slowly start to feel that misalignment over time until eventually you don't want to be doing anything about your life. And so how do you know when you should change it? And how do you know how to change it? The good news is that life always brings you what you need. And so if you juggle the balls for too long, life will take them away from you anyway. It will put you in the hospital. It'll give you a chronic illness. It'll do something to your life that makes you completely incapacitated so that you must make the change. So if you're feeling that you need to make the change, life is asking you, hello, I am asking you nicely to make the change before I give you psychosis, before I give you some chronic illness that is going to literally take you away from here. You can change it by building bridges away. You can leave your relationship. You can get a different career. You can start hanging out with a different crowd. You can start slowly taking off that mask and figuring out who you are. The problem that you're going to run into is you're going to have a ton of anxiety about this because you're not used to being human. You're only used to doing an act. To be human is to be allowed to be whoever you are and to have other people accept that and to belong even. And you've sort of been taught that the only way that you belong is to juggle your balls and pretend to be something and to maintenance everything. So I wouldn't be surprised if everything in your life needs a ton of maintenance from you. Emotional maintenance.
I see a lot of people talk about starting over and being embarrassed that they have to start over. And they're always embarrassed that they have to move back home. You know, they have to start a relationship all over. They have to find a new job, get new friends. They probably went broke and have to find a new way to make money. It's very embarrassing. And as someone who has started over before, let me give you my thoughts and some tips. My start over happened in 2022, and I literally had to move from my high-rise apartment. I was paying $10,000 a month in my high-rise apartment, the best building in California. And I literally left everything behind, moved back to New Jersey, moved in with my parents, and I literally just started over. Was it embarrassing and was I beating myself up? Yes. But here's what I learned. Starting over does not have a good reputation, but it's honestly the best thing that can happen for your life. It does not feel good. It does not look good. You might cry all freaking day. You might cry for probably 2 years. But the place that you are going to be at in 3 years, you're going to be like, wow, I should have started over a long time ago. Starting over allows you to literally wipe the slate clean and literally put new, fresh ideas on the table, or maybe go back to old ideas and reinvent them. You get to start over and literally dream. Like, you're not living the life that you used to live anymore where you have to consider certain things. You're starting over, so you have a fresh start. You have a second chance at life. Whether you have kids, whether you were married, whether you don't have kids or are married, or maybe you're going broke right now, you will get there. You get another chance to rewrite your story, and you did not give up. Like, you're literally sitting here trying your best to get your life together. Like, I know it really might suck right now, and you probably feel like, oh my God, like I made so much mistakes. But listen, nothing is a mistake. Everything is meant to be. Whatever you're going through right now is all for a reason, because maybe in 5 years, maybe you had to get out of a horrible relationship and start over. 5 years from now, you're actually supposed to meet your person, like the person who was destined for you. You literally get the chance to create a whole new vision and reality for yourself. I am literally the queen of starting over, and it's not easy. It doesn't feel good, but it is the best thing that I ever done. If you're in the process of starting over, you're probably realizing that everything that you've done probably 2-3 years ago is literally showing up today. So take that advice and that wisdom and use it for the future.
If I woke up tomorrow and wanted to reinvent myself at 50, here are the 5 things that I would do. Number 1, prioritize my health, because energy, strength, and longevity matter now more than ever. Number 2, declutter my life physically, mentally, emotionally. Lose the noise, more clarity. Number 3, redefine my relationship with alcohol and choose what truly supports my well-being. Number 4, invest in how I show up, my style, my self-care, and the confidence that comes from both. Because when you look like a mess, you do not feel confident. Number 5, surround myself with women doing the same, because who you spend time with shapes who you become. It's never too late to start over. You get to choose your next chapter.
Hi guys, I'm Gege, and I'm just here to say nothing is scarier than seeing people who you know deserve better settle for less than they deserve. Like, it's the craziest thing. And it's actually sad to encounter, because you know that that person is meant for more, meant to explore the world, meant to see different environments, different things, experience new people and new, encounters in life, but they're settling because they're afraid to fail or to be seen as a failure. You're robbing yourself of exploring different environments that may kind of put you in the best place you've ever been in your life. But because you're, I don't know, 29 or 36 or even 20, you're just like, I'd rather settle for this. And it's sad because then you're robbing yourself of so much more. Whether it's that job, that relationship, that friendship, or that environment that you're so used to, you are actually robbing yourself of living a full life. And no one can really ever force you out of it. I think that oftentimes we are so afraid to start over because of what everyone else will say. But guess what? Those people don't do anything for you. And it's always been said that people will talk whether you do good or bad. So you might as well do something that's going to serve you in the long run. If right now the job I had was not making me happy and I'm 28, I'm leaving. I am gone. I'm not even going to flinch. But that's also just to say, don't make impulsive decisions. Don't just now say, I had one bad day at work and now I'm quitting. No. Endure what you have to, but not to a point where it's self-sacrificial. But the point of this video was just to say, I need you guys to just wake up. Get up. Do better. You deserve better. It's sad to watch when you know someone that has potential is just succumbing to whatever they are dealt with. But that's just...
I'm 54 and I'm going to tell you what nobody told me when I was 30 years old, but I wish they would have. You're not behind. You're just exhausted from holding everything up by yourself. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to apologize for wanting more. And you're not too late. You're just getting started. Stop waiting for permission to change your life. You don't need it. Some people won't make it into your next season, and that's okay. You can change your life radically in 5 years, but it starts with telling yourself the truth now. You can grieve the life you thought you would have and still build something better. God's not done with you. He's about to reroute everything. Take the trip. Leave the man. Wear the damn dress. You're still beautiful. You always were, even when you didn't believe it. Let the friendships fade. Let your body change. Let your priorities shift. That's not failure. That's becoming. And one more thing, that little voice inside of you that says, there has to be more. She's right. Just wait, sis. Your future self is gonna blow your mind.
Starting over again is the hardest pill to take in life because in most cases, it requires you as a person to change a lot about your life. Sometimes it needs you to change a location. It needs you to change the people around you. Sometimes it needs you to change a career. And this is something so hard because in most cases, human beings love a routine. In case anything changes and they get to experience something they're not used to, sometimes it gets so hard and so uncomfortable, and this is hard to deal with, and that is why it's really hard for people to start over again. And what we forget is that in most cases, on the other side of starting over again, there is victory. And that is what life is teaching me all the time, because I'm always watching people who accept to start over again, winning all the time in their lives, and people who don't accept starting over again, they end up losing in life all the time. And in most cases, as human beings, when you're starting over again, you need God's grace, and you also need supportive friends and family during this time, because it's very important to have a supportive team around you during the time when you're starting over again, because it's not easy. And if anyone ever tells you that it's really easy to start over again, I think it's really a lie, because in most cases, starting over again is hard. And the most stress also comes from society, because society judges people who start over again. And I also think starting over again is really hard because it requires people to change a lot of things in their lives. And in most cases, human beings don't like change because they are so comfortable with a routine. And the moment something changes, this becomes so hard for human beings. In most cases, you find people are stuck in their old ways. And in case they are told to change to something else, they'll be so sad because they're scared. They'll be thinking that they are going to lose. They'll be thinking they are losers. Yet in most cases, sometimes change is a good thing. And in most cases, people who are winners are people who are good at allowing change in their lives, because change is part of our lives and we have to understand that. And in most cases, everyone in life has to go through such a phase of starting over again, because life is full of sudden changes which we never prepare for, and these changes all the time require us to start over again. That is why we need to be prepared for change all the time, and we need to be receptive when it comes to starting over again, because this is the only way we can win in life, because life is full of sudden changes. And it's sad to know that sometimes the people in your life are the people who are going to make it hard for you to allow change in your life. They are the people who are going to make it hard for you to start over again. For example, sometimes people have friends, and these friends influence them to live a certain life. And when they want to change from that life to another life, they'll be scared because they'll be thinking that if they change their lifestyle, their friends will drop them. And this makes it harder for some people to start over again because they care so much about what their friends think about their change. And I think we have to understand at some point, this is our life, and you have to listen to yourself. What do you really want as a person? You don't have to pay attention to the outside noise, because this is your life. Because in most cases, if you live a life that you don't want, if you fail to start over again, on the other side, you may get so depressed, which may not be good for you in your life. And I think that we need to learn every day of our lives to stop seeking society validation, because this is something that is really affecting us. It's stopping us from living our own lives, because when you're not living your own life and you're just faking it, you're trying to please the society, you're trying to please the people around you. Every time you go through change, it will be so hard for you, because the moment you face any kind of change, the first thing you think about are the people around you. Yet in most cases, these people really don't matter. All that matters when you face a change, it's you. You have to think about yourself. And then after thinking about yourself, that's when you can get the right way to start over again. But if you don't think about yourself and you're seeking society validation, instead of finding solutions, you end up getting so worried, you end up getting sad. And this is not really a cool thing, because in most cases, even the people you're trying to please, they really don't care about you. So all in all, I want to tell you guys to be kind to people who are starting over again, to be supportive to people who are starting over again, because this is all they need. In most cases, I've realized that people end up judging people who are starting over again. They start questioning them all the time. They start wondering why they're making these changes. Sometimes people think that these people don't know what they're doing. They start scaring them. But in most cases, even if you don't understand what these people are doing with their lives, you just have to just look at them, don't judge them, just try to offer any support in case they need support, because it's really hard. By the time someone makes such a decision, it means that they really need to take on that decision, because it's not easy. No one wants to start over again because it's not easy. So by the time someone takes on that hard decision, it means that all they need is support. They don't need you to judge them. That's it for today, guys. If you have anything to add on this topic, you can share your thoughts in the comment section. And it's still your girl Joanna as always. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. I would like to wish you a wonderful day. Take care of your beautiful lives. Until next time, I love you. Bye.